welcome back. Well, we have Marcella here on behalf of Emeritus, Saddleback Emeritus. How nice to have you here with us. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you, Lisa. Thank you for having me.
Now, you teach Spanish classes. I mean, you have a whole curriculum, and many other teachers are there as well for other types of Spanish classes. But before we get to some of the things that you guys offer, tell me a little bit about yourself and how you got to this point.
Well, I am from Mexico, right? So I came here when I was 16.
Okay.
Then I came and started studying at Saddleback College. So I am part of Saddleback College, from way before I started teaching. So I think I discovered that I wanted to teach, that I really liked teaching Spanish when I was in 7th grade. So my Spanish teacher, I really liked the way he was teaching. I really liked the grammar part of the class. So that's when I think, oh, I like this. I like to know all the, why there is a verb, conjugated in a certain way. And so I think that's how I started.
Well, that's interesting because most people don't really think about it that way, right? I mean, you just may just like teaching as a whole. But this way, at least people know where to put the verb versus the others, because that was one thing I think is the most difficult of learning a language is where you put stuff, because you end up saying it kind of backwards. So what class do you teach?
So we have 3 levels of Spanish in Emeritus: beginning practical Spanish, intermediate practical Spanish, and advanced practical Spanish.
Okay.
So,
and for the beginning class, do you have to have any Spanish at all or none? That's a full beginners.
No. So students need 0 knowledge of the language to start the class. And we start from the basics. And we cover all the, learning points of a language just to start. So including vocabulary, grammatical points, introduce, cultural points as well, and reading, writing, of course. So at the end of this beginning course, the students will be able to start actually conversing in a basic, level. And toward the end of the class, they will be able to write about 100 words.
Oh, that's great.
Have a basic conversation comfortably. So
So some teachers don't speak any English at all. They just speak Spanish. So do you do that, or do you speak English and Spanish?
Both. Both.
So I think it's scary the other way.
It is just to go into total immersion, right? So I do all my explanations, whatever points we're discussing in the class in English. At the beginning level, right? So I need my students to know what I'm saying, what I'm explaining. So it's important to understand the grammatical point first, and then go on to modeling and practice, that's what my approach.
So let's talk about Saddleback College as a whole. So you went to school there, and so you obviously learned the whole way that they teach, and you liked the way that they teach, or else you would have gone somewhere else. So what is it about Saddleback philosophies that you like best, and why you chose that school to teach at?
Well, when I was a student, I felt like Saddleback College was my home, because of all the support I found there, like support from my teachers, my friends. I made good friends there, classmates. So, and when I had the opportunity to go back and teach, to me, it was like, oh, great! I feel home, again. So it was nice.
And then as a whole, I think we've had many teachers come in here from Emeritus, and our residents certainly appreciate the fact that they are able to keep their brain going, right? And I think one of the things that Emeritus definitely does is it makes it challenging. It's not they're not doing anything special because of your age. They're just doing it because you want to learn, and you want to keep your brain going, and you want to do something new, right?
Yes. So, among all the courses that we have in Emeritus, we, need to keep a certain academic standards, right? Within that, we have the 4 pillars that we have in common, with all these courses. So academically rigorous, mentally stimulating, socially engaging, and health improving. So this means that, we have to keep, a certain quality of teaching in the classroom, right? And give the students, a chance to feel success and also be challenged at the same time.
I think that's a great philosophy no matter what school it is, right? I mean, it would be nice if that was the case in all schools. So I think it's great that you keep that philosophy for all ages, regardless of what you're teaching. So now let's talk. So we talked about your class, but then there's other classes that's not necessarily taught by you, but you have other instructors, right, through Spanish?
Well, I teach the 3 levels: beginning, intermediate, and advanced. So. And of course, there are 2 more instructors that teach Spanish as well. Yes. And we all, try to follow the same, standard among all the Spanish courses.
Okay. So now we have a couple of photos that we're going to show that kind of tells you a little bit about what you cover. I mean, I know you're going to obviously cover language, you're covering grammar, but you also do other fun things, right? I mean, it's not just, I'm hoping that it's about food. I mean, do you guys, when you talk about food, do you actually have food in the class, and do you go on field trips and things like that? Yes.
So, food is part of the culture, right? Regardless of which language you learn. So, and food brings people together all the time. Brings happiness and taste of, all the certain cultures. I mean, whatever culture you're exploring. Right. So we have food at the end of the semester. Okay. So if we are in the classroom, we do, actually have a fiesta at the end.
Oh, nice.
So, and we really enjoy it. Students really like that part, right? So I, say to my students, like, okay, this is our reward for, all the work that we did throughout the semester. And yes. And then, of course, we introduce other cultural topics such as, music, dance. And we do actually, if we are in the classroom, we dance.
Oh, fun.
So we dance cha-cha, we salsa music, flamenco music. So it's So just to give a taste. But before that, of course, we learn about, that part of the piece of the culture. Yes.
Now, what about movies? Do you ever show movies?
Yes.
But they would be in Spanish, or they would have subtitles?
For beginning and intermediate level of Spanish, they do have subtitles.
Okay.
For advanced courses, it's all in Spanish.
Okay.
Yeah. And I try to discourage my students from using subtitles.
Yeah. We're cheating. Cheating rather than trying to listen to what they're saying.
Yes.
So no, that's so we have one of the advanced practical Spanishes is ESPAN 502, and that's what they would look up when they go to sign up for this type of class, right? Is it ESPAN and then the number like 502? Is that the most advanced?
502 is the advanced level.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Fantastic.
So in this class, we do a lot of reading, writing. We do advanced grammar. For example, now this semester we are learning about subjunctive form, present subjunctive, right? And so at the end of covering this chapter of subjunctive, we do start practicing. So our practice now is writing poems using subjunctive.
Oh.
So it's like, it's amazing. It's so rewarding for me to see, all these students writing poems in Spanish. Yeah. So it's great.
Well, and you love what you do, which makes it even better. So we appreciate you coming here and telling us all about the Spanish at Emeritus. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So I invite everyone who, might be interested on taking Spanish courses. They're free at Emeritus, and we're here for you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for having me.
Muchas gracias.
De nada. A usted.
If you want more information about the Spanish classes or any classes that are at Emeritus, you can always go to their website, or you could actually email them at scemeritus@saddleback.edu, or you could call them at 949-582-4833. 835. We'll be right back.